As if the world needed yet another schmuck on the internet talking about his opinion on movies. Well, here I am. I got the blue Yeti, got the white wall background. Am I a YouTuber yet? Am I YouTube enough for you? We're about to freaking find out. Ad Astra. Have you heard of it? I know I have. Ad Astra is directed by James Gray and stars Brad Pitt and Tommy Lee Jones, kinda. It is a story about an astronaut who must voyage out to the ends of the galaxy to find his father when a power surge within the solar system is threatening the existence of humanity. First off, let me just start by saying that this is Brad Pitt's year. Brad Pitt, I mean, first of all, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, now Ad Astra. I mean, it's just masterpiece, okay? And I say that because he is essentially the front runner of this movie. He is the main man that you follow throughout this entire film. I hope you like his acting because this is a one-man job for this guy. His performance is very similar to Ryan Gosling's First Man, and where he plays very cool, calm, collected astronaut. He has to keep his blood pressure down, his heart rate down. That way he's eligible to go on missions, especially this mission that he has to go on in this film to actually reach his father, who he presumed dead. He gives a very stoic, but yet there's a lot going on under the surface of what his act is. In fact, he's so calm at times that's actually to his detriment when it comes to his personal life and him having relationships and bonding with other people, especially to that of his father, which you'll see later on in the film. It brings a very layered dynamic to his character as he ponders on his own stoicism, how it disconnects him from the world around him. And let me just get this out of the way, that the visuals for this movie are absolutely incredible. Stunning, breathtaking. When you are watching this film, it really feels like you are actually in space, and the realism of it all, and the massiveness and the scale that the cinematography brings out into the film. You also feel the claustrophobia of space when you are just floating around in a spaceship and there's nothing to do. You are by yourself. This is a very psychological kind of movie, and it presses on that quite a bit, especially with Brad Pitt's character. So he has to take like a psych analysis every so often in the movie. So the movie goes in depth into like this sort of voiceover from Brad Pitt, so that what you're hearing is one thing, but what you're seeing is another. So he may be calm on the outside, but the voiceover, in fact, if there was no voiceover, we probably wouldn't know how exactly this guy would be thinking. We probably wouldn't know who he is as a person, what he wants, what he desires. So they did a great job doing that. The visuals of this film, the lighting, you can see a lot of 2001 Space Odyssey stuff layered in there when it comes to lighting, shot composition. I mean, just look at that. My God, that is just beautiful. The situations that Brad Pitt is put in makes you really feel like that space is always the enemy. Space is always out there lurking, and that space is a very dangerous place. We all think that space is like this cool place where we can go to or whatever, when in reality, it's not. Space is terrible. It will kill you in any way, okay? The film does a really good job at making you feel like space is always the enemy. Space is always out there, whether you are with people or whether you are alone. Space is always going to be there. That is shown none other through the Brad Pitt character himself. Here's one thing to note though, the real film, in my opinion, starts about like halfway through the movie. I'm not going to give any spoilers, of course, this is spoiler free, but I feel that midway through the movie, about around the midpoint of the film, is where the actual story of the film actually begins, and you are much more interested, much more invested than it was previously in the film. So what are you saying, Tristan? This movie sucked? No, that's not what I'm saying. This film, what you gotta know, it seemed that the second act was sort of up and down for me. It was, I felt like it dragged in some places and excelled in others. For me, it was an up and down roller coaster on the pacing of it. There were some things that I felt like could have been a little tighter. Kind of like, okay, we get the point. Let's kind of get going. I was much more invested in the first act leading up to the midpoint than I was in the second act itself. The second act itself sort of it becomes like a psychological movie, in where Brad Pitt sort of reflects upon his inner self. It's fine with me, Brad Pitt can do that the entire movie, but it wasn't until that midpoint where I felt like the movie sort of excelled, propelled into the actual story that this movie wanted to tell. Now, every movie is not without flaws, obviously. This film is no exception. One thing, the film had a way with dealing with characters that weren't Brad Pitt. So like a character would come in, give a bit of information, and then sort of leave, and we'll never see them again. And it happened multiple times throughout the film. There'll be a character that sort of comes in and then gives Brad Pitt's character a little bit of information that you as the audience need to know, and then they'll be gone and you'll never see them again, you know, just completely vanished. It was just kind of like, oh hey, here's this information when you conveniently need it. You know, are they not like a part of this world anymore? I guess the story didn't need them. I wish that they would expand on the world a little more, because the world is very interesting and I want to know more. It was a future that I could see us in, that it was so, that's how realistic the space and space travel was. It invoked a feeling of longing that I wanted more from this film. Now, if there's anything that you take away from this, is that this movie, I believe, is not for the casual movie goer. It is a very slow burn, a very psychological kind of film. Not boring. There's a difference between slow and boring, and this movie is not boring. Into your fast-paced action sort of movies, you might want to sit this one out. But nonetheless, overall, I think the film is a winner for Brad Pitt, especially a winner for space movies in general, the sci-fi genre in general. If you're into space movies, definitely check this one out. It's not Interstellar, so don't be comparing it to Interstellar at all. Overall, I think the film is a fantastic film. Definitely something you should check out. It is visually stunning. The performances are excellent. The pacing could have been a little tighter, but that's just me. That's just my opinion, which I'm entitled to have. Don't kill me. I give this movie a B+-. Yeah, we'll go with that. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, please leave a comment down in the comment section below. And you know what, here's that little subscribe button, you know, I'm just gonna throw that up there, you know, just do your thing, you know, I'm not even gonna pressure you. But if you like this video, there'll be more coming out, stay tuned, and you guys have a great day.